The Basic Education Department is working around the clock to enhance pupils' entrepreneurial spirit. Its flagship Entrepreneurship Education in South African schools is taking shape. It seeks to equip educators to prepare learners to have an entrepreneurial mindset. This will also ensure that they leave school being prepared to be solution-seeking, active participants in the ever-changing world after school. Let's discuss how this is all going. We're joined by James Donald from the department's EQ program, and he joins us virtually from Swellendam down in the Western Cape. Now, James, we have come quite a long way from when schools started, or especially primary schools started having what they call market day and cake sale day to try and encourage kids to work with money and being able to count off change and taking responsibility for a product and selling it to the boys and girls at their schools. Tell us a bit more about the EQ program as a foundation for this chat.
Yeah, thanks so much, Marcelle. And to go straight to this conversation after that horrible news of the boys in Soweto.
Absolutely.
I don't think any conversation about education, like you said yourself, I don't think we can have these conversations without recognizing how hard it is for families and the challenges are enormous. You know, these conversations aren't small ones. For young people, it has to start with something as simple as a cake sale, and all of us have this journey we go through in our schools where we try and find, our identity, our meaning, our purpose in life. And because of our history and the way our schools were invested in and underinvested in, those journeys are very different for many children. So this is trying to make sure that every child has an equal opportunity, to explore and develop their entrepreneurial mindset, which we're all born with.
Now, often when we have these conversations about innovation, the need for computers and digital literacy in our schools, we always have to ask the question that all of this is happening in the backdrop of an education system where so many children still don't have enough textbooks in their classrooms, or they've got a computer class that's now just been vandalized, or they don't have proper transport to these schools, or there are not enough classrooms. I mean, the list just goes on and on. How difficult is it to come to these schools with to talk about entrepreneurship education when there's still so many other obstacles that a lot of our schools are facing on a day-to-day basis?
Yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head. This program's been in schools since 2018, a commitment that the South African government made to have compulsory entrepreneurship in every school by 2030. But the recognition right from the beginning is that teachers are overwhelmed by all the reasons that you're talking about. So our curriculum, CAPS, for a long time has, like you said, built in opportunities for these things in EMS subjects, even in the way schools do their own work. So it's really about helping teachers find ways to solve problems, make their day-to-day lives a little bit easier, so that the entrepreneurship education isn't just another thing they need to do. And I can tell you a bit of the example of what that looks like, but there are around 11,000 schools in the country that are already participating in the EQ program in some way, and I can share with your viewers, our teachers or parents can find out more. But really think about entrepreneurship as solving a problem for yourself or the world around you. So children learn by watching their teachers. So if we can help teachers solve their problems, whether that's the tough ones you mentioned or issues with engagement in class or ways to get kids to work in groups, if we can let teachers be more entrepreneurial, if we can let them go back to their roots of building a connection and trying to solve problems for their learners, that's the most powerful thing we can do for children. And then I can explain some of the details of how this actually comes to life.
Yes, I'd appreciate that. And also at what age or what grade, I suppose it should ask, this starts? Because often when we talk about entrepreneurship, it's about, let's make a product, sell it, and that kind of thing. But actually, I'm sure what's at the base of it is you're encouraging problem solving, critical thinking, sending young people into the world that can see where there's a need and how they could potentially fill those gaps and that kind of thing. So where do you start with that kind of conversation with school-going kids?
Yeah, I mean, children, like I said, are born. You look at a 4-year-old or a 3-year-old, their commitment to making mistakes, getting up, dusting themselves off, trying again, that we're born with that intrinsic desire to sort of try things, make a mistake, try again. And if anything, school takes us out of that. So what we do is in every subject, from grade R to grade 12, CAPS expects teachers to give learners a chance to show what they know outside of an exam. So it's usually a project. Parents would know well about these. It's usually in the third term, and it's in almost every subject. So what the EQ program does is help teachers turn those project assessment tasks that gives them their term mark into a project-based learning experience for learners. So everything from children pretending to be explorers on a new planet and try to figure out ways to, inhabit that community in grade 3, to discussions in grade 6 about bullying. It's really about giving learners a problem, let them work on it in groups in class, and give them a real audience to the solutions to that problem. Sometimes it's more direct. In grade 7, for example, in EMS, there's already a project assessment task for Entrepreneurship Day. Many schools do it, but not every school. And so it's really about making those Entrepreneurship Days easier for every school to do. And for example, some provinces are meeting their commitment by supporting every grade 7 class to do that, helping SGB solve problems around cash flow, helping to get local businesses to come to the Entrepreneurship Day. So there's a WhatsApp line that I can share the details of.
Yes, please do, because unfortunately we have run out of time and I didn't want to let you go until you can tell people where they can find out more.
Yeah, thank you. So 060 060 3333 is the WhatsApp line, just 060 060 3333. That's the DBE's Teacher Connect line. There are already about 300,000 South Africans, including teachers, teachers' assistants, using that line to find access to resources. You can do a free SACE accredited project-based learning course. You can get access to all that curriculum and material that I told you about, from learning through play, supported by people like the Lego Foundation in primary schools, all the way through to, social justice and really much bigger issues in the high schools. So, I encourage teachers to sign up and reach out.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. We can only wish you everything of the best. The more positive news about programs like this in basic education, the better. James Donald is from the Basic Education Department's EQ program, joining us there from Swellendam. We thank him for his time this afternoon.